The English dub for the original Devilman Crybaby is like the funniest thing ever. Like you need to go on and like watch the compilation video of like all of the really bad dubbing. Like
so good. Some of the jump cuts with like the terrible, like stupid screams. Oh my God.
So good.
It's amazing.
Coming to you from Los Angeles, this is The Anime Effect. Each week we bring you interviews with amazing people across the world of anime, from directors to actors, artists, and more, to discuss their work and their anime favorites. It's pop culture with an anime lens. I'm your host, Nick Friedman.
And I'm Leah President. We are so excited to be welcoming today none other than the Grim Reaper's first apprentice, the collector of souls themselves, and a bringer of rapping and reaping to millions around the world, Mori Calliope. Welcome to the Anime Effect, Callie. We're so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Rapping Reapers. Say that 10 times fast.
I know, right? I'm getting tongue-tied.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I think
Me
I wrote
too.
that one just to
I know, yeah, we can blame Nick for that one.
It's all good.
But yeah, we are, again, so excited to have you on. We have a question that we like to ask every single one of our guests.
Alrighty.
Which is, what is your gateway anime?
Oh, gateway anime. You mean like what got me into it? Or...
Yeah. Like the first one that you can remember that you're like, oh, I love this.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. I mean, I remember liking anime before I knew what it was, or even that like that was anime. So like when I was really young, I watched Sailor Moon. You know, my friend got me into Tokyo Mew Mew when I was in like middle school. Like that's such a middle school girl anime, but like that was like the first one.
Tokyo Mew Mew.
Right?
I remember that name.
Yeah, it was so girly. But you know, after that, the first anime that like I really got into, like a hardcore fan, probably Inuyasha and Full Metal Alchemist were like my two faves.
Yeah.
Those are good
Solid picks, yeah.
I think so. Well, okay, so we all know that you had your debut with the hololive Myth generation and are also tasked with collecting many souls.
Ah, yes.
So
primary job.
Now that we have you here, remember you are on camera. Is that legal to do that?
Oh, collect souls?
Deposition.
I mean, look, in the underworld, we don't operate by the laws of the human world. So, like, who could say, you know, what's legal in the underworld is not always legal in you guys' world, just how it goes. I'm just doing my job. I always say this, don't hate me because I have to take your soul away someday. It's just my job. At least I'm friendly, right? And cute sometimes. So, I mean, I feel like, yeah, you should definitely feel like privileged and happy to have like, I don't know, someone like Mori.
I feel like I'm honored. I feel honored. Do you feel honored?
Are you taking ours? Because I'm a new father. So
you didn't sign the waiver when you came in?
What? No. Look, hey, congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
It's not your time yet. You guys still have stuff to do. I was invited here very graciously. I took some risks inviting the Grim Reaper, let me tell you what. Doesn't always end well for people.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of which, weapons are usually checked at the door, but we were wondering if you brought Ricky, your scythe, in with you, and if you could introduce them for us.
Oh, he's resting right now. See, Ricky, he was busy last night with the show that I did.
Right?
Yeah, so he's my bass guitar and also my scythe. So he's got like dual purpose, I guess. I don't really bring him out that much on stream though, unless I'm doing like a show or something like that. But yeah, he's my prized possession. He's my baby. I can't really exist without him. You know, what's a Grim Reaper without their scythe? Yeah. You guys get it. Surely you understand.
Oh, yeah.
They would not allow him in a place like this anyway, so probably better he's
I just have a
chilling.
regular bass. And I know exactly one Fall Out Boy song.
Oh, let's go.
That's it, though.
Nice and easy one to play.
We got to see them put in some work at the show. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. You had your sold out headlining show at the Palladium. We were there. It was amazing. It is no surprise at all that it was just like incredible. The visuals totally blew us away. And just like the vibe in the room too was so much passion, just really incredible. Not even to mention your performance, which was amazing. What was it like preparing for that performance, or really just like preparing to bring this show to the US?
Oh man, well, you know, there's a lot that goes into it, honestly. Like, I really had to learn so much more to make sure that this show is better than the last, because whenever I do a show, we don't get to do a lot of these, right? I'm like, I want it to be better than the last one. How am I going to do that? And so the way that I initially think is, of course, by just doing a better quality performance. I did a bunch of dance lessons. The band rehearsals were really cool. Honestly, I uploaded some shorts of me at the band rehearsals. Those were
we saw
that
one
was
before
so cool.
we recorded.
Yeah. No, the band was amazing. They're so cool. They put in a lot of practice as well. You know, trying to refine my singing. I've had a really bad cough for a while, but as you can probably tell so far, I'm really pretty good at suppressing it when it comes to like performing or doing like an interview or something like that. So I've gotten much better at like suppressing it. So yeah, I'm hanging in there. But honestly, so much goes into making shows. Like I mentioned it when I was doing the show actually, but I said something to the effect of, you guys have no idea how many people are back here helping me, because I'm on stage and I'm doing what I do, but like the number of people that are like backstage, each with an individual job, like control Mori's face, you know, control the transitions and then the 3D scene. And there are 6 different screens in front of me. Like, it's crazy, but so fun. It's an experience unlike anything else.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
Awesome.
I went off there.
No.
That was
Love to
great.
hear it. So it was last night was a great example of how, you know, wide and celebrated VTubing has become over the years, especially with live performances. Do you ever feel, you know, even now after, you know, you're filling up all of these venues, do you still feel like sometimes you have to like justify it to people, or still like even now, like explain what it is that you do?
Yes, explaining is always the toughest part, right? I always get questions like, so you're a character, right? And I'm like, I am me. I don't know what you're talking about right now. What you see is what you get. Or stuff like, you know, stuff that we just can't answer because there's a lot of magic in what we do. And I feel like it kind of gets ruined sometimes if you answer too candidly. I'm a very candid person, but in some cases it's like taking it too far, you know? So trying to explain in a way that most people can understand, but is still true to myself is always tough. You know, I just did a bunch of interviews today actually, and I'm going over the answers in my head again, thinking like, did they really get it? You know? But like, you don't always have to get it right away. Like, you know, you need to understand right off the bat what a VTuber is to become a fan. Plenty of my own fans just slowly got into it little by little by making friends that like VTubers. And you just learn as you go, really. So there's nothing to be afraid of. We welcome all kinds, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of leads to another question I had. How do you feel like that acceptance and community has changed over the years?
Well, let's see. It's definitely a tough one because I feel like there are still a lot of folks that, you know, don't really get what we do and kind of don't want to. And I am the type of person that thinks that's fine. That really actually doesn't bother me, right? But I guess there is always the worry of like, how are you guys going to go mainstream? And, you know, if you're not growing in this industry, it's really kind of scary because you think about the future and you really love what you do, right, as a VTuber, and you want to keep doing it. But if you can't grow, that's a problem, you know? So of course we would really like for, I guess, what we do to get a bit more mainstream and whatnot. But, you know, I think we'll just have to see where it goes, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely felt like a very, very welcoming community last night.
Oh, yeah. The chanting specifically. There were lots of USA chants.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so
The
passionate.
USA chants. Yeah.
That's crazy. They had so many, though, so many different types of chants. Like there was USA. There were a bunch of inside jokes, too, from the holo community, from like streams, like quotes from streams and stuff like that. It was really funny, you know, and getting to like, I guess, hear that and feel that while I was on stage just made it like so much more magical, I guess, because you can rehearse a million times over and do whatever you have to do to prepare for your show, but like you can never really know what it's going to feel like until you're like there and everyone's cheering for you. You know, the fans are so passionate, we're so lucky that we have such a passionate community that's super chill and like really cool people.
Well, I mean, speaking of that passion, like one thing that I feel like is pretty obvious to us is like the way your fans kind of embrace your rap skills, which, they feel very universally loved.
Oh gosh.
I guess one, like, how does it feel to have like that kind of talent embraced by your community? But also, can we get an exclusive freestyle about you being on the show?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm going to disappoint you. I don't freestyle.
No!
Oh gosh.
That's
Calliope
okay.
Mori, here's my story. How it's going to end for you is pretty gory. Like, come on, man. That's
That
just
was
a
pretty
poem.
good.
No,
That was pretty good.
No, it's just a poem. No, thank you. I do always say, though, I don't freestyle. The reason for that is because I really think very deeply about my lyrics. I'm also very easily embarrassed, which is crazy because, I've embarrassed myself a lot in the past. And like, I look back on myself and I'm like, dang it, this is going to ruin my day. But I have to try to not let it, In terms of like the rap stuff, my love for all of that, it stemmed from the Japanese rap scene, which is very, very stylistically different from the American rap scene. I think there's often a big disconnect. A lot of people hear like, oh, she raps, like, let me check her out. And then they're like, what is this? And I have to explain J-rap is extremely different. The way that it flows, some of the melody that gets injected, what lyrics are is also different. The way that I mean that is I feel that Japanese lyrics are a lot more figurative. If you take a Japanese rap song and you translate it to English, you will see there's so much figurative stuff going on and like metaphors and like imagery that you just don't get in English lyrics. And when I tried to adapt that into English lyrics, there's a big disconnect for some folks being like, that is crazy. I don't really know if I'm into that. And that's totally fine. But the holo community has they've really embraced it. I think one main reason for those in the holo community that actually like my rapping has to do with the fact that they're already so in touch with like Japanese culture and Japanese songs and J-pop. So they already kind of like feel that connection, I guess, which I'm super lucky and grateful to them that they like what I do. I'm always trying to improve. I don't rap as much these days. I more like use it as another tool in my arsenal when I make like songs that I'm singing in, I guess. But yeah, those are my roots. I guess everybody remembers the Rapping Reaper. So yep, that'll always be there.
Well, speaking of which.
Well, hold on. We have to wait for that question. I do have a follow-up.
Okay.
okay.
I'm
Which-
biting at the bit here to ask.
One of the things I thought about, because, there's always an anime connection, right? And we talked about this on the show before, but in Odd Taxi, have you seen Odd Taxi?
Oh, I know some of the music from that, but I've never seen it before.
There is a character in the series who speaks in rap.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like, it's rhyming. And like you said, it has all of that sort of like nuance and cultural punchlines and all of that. And we talked on the show about how the localization of that, where they had to take the Japanese, the character that's doing J-rap essentially, and not only translate it into English, but make it make sense to English viewers.
Sense. And I'm sure they wanted it to be good too.
Yeah.
How do you do that? That's such a tough task.
And rhyme.
It's wizardry. But
So
it's very
tough.
cool.
Okay.
I had to get serious for a second before this one.
We have a question for you. Kendrick or Drake?
Oh gosh, this question. This is so funny because I've been asked this a bunch by my own like viewers, I feel, and like people would like tweet at me and I'm like, I think I said something to the effect of like, I don't care or something like that. And people got mad that I said that. I was like, wait, what? That I don't have an opinion? Look, I don't really, I mean, I kind of, I feel like my opinion is the obvious one though, that like is the really like widely agreed upon one. But look, at the end of the day, my main reaction to that is, why are you asking me? Why do you care about my opinion? I don't really make hip hop, so I'm kind of like, why do they want to know? But now that I'm realizing it's such a widespread question to even people who don't make hip hop, I'm like, yeah, I guess I can have an opinion on this. Whatever. Kendrick.
There we go.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, guys.
That's right. Got your reporting.
I mean, if it was Drake, I'd let you know. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to let the internet know what I feel, but no, Kendrick.
You hear that, Kendrick? You got the Cali stamp of approval. That is high praise.
Praise, yeah.
I just want to see that like K.Cali collab now.
Oh, God.
Like, that's what I want to see.
Oh, man. I'm sure people would love to see that, but I'm content to just be a big fan.
I love that. So I say getting serious again, not really that serious, but I'm curious, like, what are your top musical influences? Like, one of the things that I saw at your show is like the genres can bend, and it all feels so fresh and unique. And knowing, like, for example, that the rapping elements are inspired by J-rap, like a lot of that starts to make sense. So I'm curious, like, what are your top musical influences?
Well, that's a tough one. I was a big musical theater kid, so I always was really into very exaggerated sounding music. Yeah, it's kind of different. Yeah. Additionally, when I went to Japan and like started really getting into like the underground scene, I found this band that did like Japanese like electro swing rap. And I thought to myself, wow, can you just rap to anything? And I got so like, I wanted to know more. And I was just having fun back then, really. I was just playing around, not really being serious about music at all. And so I tried a bunch of different things. Let's try some different genres, and maybe I'll try and like throw in some rap here and there and just see how it feels. That was back in the day when it was just me sending songs to my friends, being like, made this the other day, lol, or something like that. It's just silliness, absolute silliness. But I had a big sense of freedom back then. I just did whatever I wanted. This was way before I joined Holo. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm influenced by a lot of things. Mostly Japanese music though, 100%. That will never go away. That will never change. That's why I think it's kind of hard for me to develop like a quote unquote mainstream sound. I know what mainstream music sounds like. I could emulate it if I wanted to, but I kind of just don't want to. I'm really comfortable where I am, just like making Japanese influenced music, because Japan is such a big part of my life. I plan to be there forever and ever. So, I mean, it's just how it is. I love Japanese music. That's my number one influence. If you want like exact names though, there's too many to count. Too many. I mean, a lot of people that are like mainstream popular, I would say now for sure, have influenced my sound a little bit, like YOASOBI, Creepy Nuts. I was a fan of Creepy Nuts since 2016. I'm here to be super annoying. Right. I was a fan before they got big. Just so you know.
Oh my gosh.
Right, there I go again.
No, you bring up a good point about like mainstream sound, because it's like mainstream has been redefined because of the like globalization of music and how behaviors have changed, that like you don't have to play to being that, maybe like specific Western pop sound just to be successful and also proud of your art. Like, it's cool that you get to experiment and people embrace it. Like,
yeah, I think that's really nice. And also there's a lot of like thanks for K-pop to that, I think, because like that definitely is like a piece of it. It's becoming like, music scene is becoming a lot more global. We'll see how things shake out in the next like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. I think that's what your fans love though, is that Cali does Cali.
Yeah. I don't need to fit into a box or anything though. I felt like for a while with music, I was searching for a quote unquote place to belong. But performing last night and then watching the archive of that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, the sound that I've got, especially with like some of my harder rock songs, I was like, this is it. This is where I belong, I think. But I'm doing me. So, it worked out. It worked out. I'm very content about how things have shaken out so far,
Yeah, I was transported, to say the least. Like,
dude, from the intro alone, just like
I went into another world. I got isekai'd. I got isekai'd into Cali's world.
Right there.
So you performed the ending theme for Suicide Squad.
I do.
Suicide Squad.
Isekai. There's the transition.
That's it's an inside joke on our show. If you wonder why we're saying isekai a bunch.
Yeah, we have an actual physical button that we hit every time we mention an isekai.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yes,
awesome.
Yes. It's in the Crunchyroll colors too. We love it.
Maybe we can just do it in post.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Just like hit the button.
Put it in post.
But yeah, so we love the song Go Getters. How did your role in that project come about?
Oh my gosh. I remember it was crazy when I got offered the whole proposition of it, because I had been begging to be allowed to do some kind of anime song. That's my dream. I want to do anime music. I want to do video game music. I remember that I had just finished filming. We were filming a free-to-watch 3D concert that was to sort of celebrate my very first full major studio album release from Universal. And I remember that they were saying to me, Mori, we got some news for you, but you got to go perform the show. You got something to look forward to. I was like, oh boy, is this it? Is this the anime tie-up? And it was. And I remember I went, backstage, and I was like, all right, so what is it? And they're like, all right, so this is kind of crazy, but, and they showed me like the DC logo, and I was like, huh? I was like, wait, I'm a fan of DC. Like I like DC. What are they cooking? And they showed me it was Suicide Squad. And I was like, no freaking way. I freaking love Harley Quinn. I love all those guys. Joker. Oh my God. King Shark. So many amazing characters that I was already a fan of. But the crazy thing is, I actually didn't know it was an isekai until the first trailer dropped.
Ooh.
Before I even finished the song as well. I was like, oh, it's just Suicide Squad, right? And then the trailer dropped. Like it was maybe almost a year before the show came out. And I was like, huh? It's an isekai? Wait, what? I was like, all right, now this kind of makes sense why they would make an anime for this. And so yeah, I got to work on that. And I said, you know what? This is my first anime tie-up ever. I got to ask my dream team to come work on it. And so I hit up Giga and Teddy Lloyd, and they were more than happy to make a banger track. And I love how it turned out. That's actually the only song I've ever done that required 2 recording sessions because I wanted it to be perfect.
I love that.
Yep. There's another one coming up though that is probably going to require a second studio session for a different thing. So
it's interesting. I think Suicide Squad Isekai was one of the first shows we talked about when we launched our podcast last February.
Oh wow,
full circle moment.
And I think we had
Full
the exact
circle.
same response of like, it's an Isekai?
It's an isekai?
But yeah, I mean, just as a follow-up, like, is there a specific anime that you'd love to do music for?
Oh, this one I want to know.
Whether it's like an old series that you're like, oh, I could do something for that, or, you know, something coming up that you're excited about.
I have like 2 answers kind of. There is one that I can't talk about, but I'm really excited about. It's a secret. It's a big secret. And I won't say anything else, but there's something coming up. There's something cooking. So get excited for that.
This is the cooking post.
Yes. And I'm cooking, guys, and you guys are going to be really excited about it, is all I'm saying. But the other one, this is a dream of mine. And I thought to myself, I'll actually cry if this ever happens. But JoJo, if I could just do like an ending or an insert song, I would do anything to do music for JoJo. Like,
would you go like classic hip hop for it? Like some of the older endings,
like
you know?
the jazz
some
influence
Jodeci
too,
type.
right?
Like,
oh, Jodeci, you got to bring up Jodeci.
I wonder, what would I do? I have no clue what I'd want to make. Honestly, I'd probably listen to what their request was. But like, you know, I haven't been like asked to do anything, so I can say this. But like, for example, like if Steel Ball Run ever got like an anime, I'm from Texas. Everybody knows I'm from Texas. I'm a Texan Reaper.
Howdy,
right?
y'all.
Howdy, y'all. And I always thought to myself, I'd make the coolest like Western rock banger ever. But, you know, I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm cool with like saying it. But, you know, just an example, right? It would kind of depend on like the setting and like what the director wants, because we do have to listen to that, right? We have to pay attention to like what the studio wants. A lot of times there's retakes. Sometimes they're happy with it right away, but that's not always what happens. So, but yeah, I might throw in like a little bit of hip hop. Again, hip hop isn't my main genre, at least not anymore, kind of. Most of what I did was J-hip hop, but you know, hip hop is just not my main thing. But yeah, I might sprinkle some of it in there, you know, maybe some jazz.
I feel like you can do anything.
I was like, jazz could be a good fit. But since you mentioned like Western, Southern rock, like, and Steel Ball Run's a bit of a like road trippy, like classic cinema. Like, I feel like that vibe would work.
Right. That's the vibe.
So you mentioned JoJo's, of course. So in 2022, you did an interview with Crunchyroll News, which my second job is I'm the publisher of Crunchyroll News. So I also do that.
Small world.
But you mentioned your 10 favorite anime. So recap for anyone listening or watching. These anime were Gurren Lagann, of course, great series.
Of course.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes.
Made in Abyss.
Number 3. Yep.
Baki.
Yeah, Baki.
Psycho Pass. Dr. Stone.
Oh, yes.
Madoka Magica.
Of course.
One Piece. Kaiji.
Kaiju, yeah.
And Higurashi, When They Cry.
Love those. All good.
Has that list changed in the last 3 years? Have you had any additions to that list?
Every time somebody asks me like what my current favorite anime is, it's like I've never seen an anime in my life. Like they all just disappear from my mind. Let me think. I wonder, because I know I've been watching some good stuff recently, but usually whenever I'm just fishing for something to watch, I just pull up JoJo's again and rewatch everything because it's so goofy and really puts me in a good mood. Let me think. Recently, I'm watching Vinland Saga.
So good.
And I really
Very,
like
very
it.
good.
10 out of
Yeah.
10.
It's
I
so
love
good.
Vinland Saga.
I'm like surprised by how much I liked it because I was like, this doesn't really seem like a setting I'd be super into.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm more into like very, very dark, edgy kind of, you know, dark fantasy settings, right? And Vinland Saga is, I mean, it gets dark, but it's not like quite there.
Yeah.
But I was surprised by how much I liked it and how compelling the characters are. Right.
Very like harsh reality. It's like different than dark, but it's like, it's so good.
It's very, it's heavy, but in like, kind of like almost like a Game of Thrones way.
Especially
where it's
season
like,
1.
There's a good payoff.
Are you in season 2 now?
Yes, I'm currently watching season 2. No spoilers.
Yeah, we'll keep the spoilers.
It's very good. One of my favorites from last year, season 2. Anyway,
Cool. It's
time
getting
doesn't
intense.
exist.
I'd probably also add Golden Kamuy to that list.
Really another good choice. Very solid.
Yes. And then another one, this is so tough because this quickly became my top manga, but none of the anime adaptions are good. Well, they're fine, I guess. And that's Berserk, right? Berserk is my favorite of all time. Wonderful, wonderful series in manga, but you know, the anime is like, you know, 1999? It might have been 97. It's so.
Oh, then there was the 90s one, then there was the CG one, then there were the movies.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, but of course nothing tops the manga, right? And then speaking of that, also, I can't believe that I didn't put Devilman on that list because I love Devilman.
Oh, you're going to get Leah gone.
Yeah, I can talk about Devilman forever.
Are
Do
you
you
a
like
Devilman
the newer
fan?
one or like the OG? I like both of them. The English dub for the original Devilman Crybaby is like the funniest thing ever. Like you need to go on and like watch the compilation video of like all of the really bad dubbing. Like
so good. Some of the jump cuts with like the terrible, like stupid screams. Oh my God.
So good.
It's amazing. I love Devilman. I actually didn't dislike the new one. I thought it was good. I have some friends that are huge Devilman fans that have loved Devilman for a long time that do not like the new one, which is, it is what it is, but I think it's a good piece of media. Personally though, maybe this is a hot take, I like the manga better than all of them. And I was never a big manga reader, but you know, probably still also prefer the old school animation. It's just, there's a charm to it that like you kind of can't really replicate, I think, with newer style anime, but they're both good for different reasons, I think. Personally.
What I will say about the new series is the music is like amazing.
The music is so good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100% agreed on that one. Love Devilman so much.
We talked about your favorite anime. Let's talk about some of the video games that you've been playing lately.
Yes.
Can you walk us through some of your newer favorites and any that we should look out for on your stream?
Okay. Dark Souls. Dark Souls, everything. Any FromSoft game, I play all of them. Every single one.
Gosh, I'm so bad at those games.
They're tough, right? No doubt they're difficult, but I don't know. I was always kind of pegged as being a terrible gamer since the beginning of my debut. And ever since I found that I was being pegged that way and I agreed, I thought to myself, I gotta challenge myself. And ever since then, I have become a rage game fan. So
Do you rage quit a lot?
I don't. I rage continue.
Oh, man.
No rage quit. Rage continue.
Like getting over it?
Like getting over it, but I'm more of a Jump King gal myself.
Oh, okay.
Jump King is my game of choice. I can speedrun that game. I think
Really?
Yes, I can. I think I'm sub 8 minutes on the regular
Wow.
map, but
That's
I
like
need to do better.
superhuman.
I need to do better. I gotta keep proving myself because I'm not the best VTuber to play Jump King. There are people that have gotten better scores, so I'm like, I need to assert my dominance. I love that game. But yeah, like kind of ragey games. I have beaten Getting Over It. I also just really like like grim dark setting, right? Like I got into Warhammer recently. Love Warhammer. And then what else have I been into? Anything that's kind of edgy, I'm gonna play it. Right? You know, I'm a big Ghost of Tsushima fan.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to play
There's
Ghost of
gonna
Tsushima
be an anime.
someday.
Yeah, we're going to be having the anime adaptation. Really looking forward to it.
That is crazy. I'm so excited for that. Oh my gosh. Love Ghost of Tsushima.
That new
Seriously,
game
one of
looks
my
so
faves.
good too. Yote?
Beautiful. There's a new one, coming out. Yeah, Ghost of Yote. I'm so hyped.
Wow.
Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. I'm looking forward to so many games. You know, also planning on playing next up on Mori's streams, planning on playing Devil May Cry, the Devil May Cry series.
Ooh, like from the beginning?
Like all the way through all of them?
I gotta go through all of them.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be awesome.
Yup.
Edgy, absolutely.
Yes.
Especially 5. Like 5 goes
Five,
to some real special place.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Thank you again so much for all of your time today. This has been so
Honestly,
much
yes.
fun.
Oh, I'm glad. Glad you had a good
we
time.
loved your show. We've loved having this conversation with you. Thank you again so much for your time. Any last words for listeners around the world who are looking forward to going to your concert or just fans?
I love that sign off, by the way. Any last words? Like you sound like you're getting ready to like kill me or something like that.
It was on purpose because of the Reaper
Yeah, just
stuff.
like, existentially.
Love that so much. No, I use that as well. Any last words for you boneheads that are watching? Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching today's episode. Maybe you learned a couple new things about Mori that I haven't shared anywhere else. And hope you guys get excited about anime and keep enjoying all the stuff that's going on in our culture and what we do. And if you're new to VTubers, feel free to hop into a stream anytime. We're all very laid back. It's a cool community. We just play games and are goofy together, or sometimes we do shows and concerts and sing. So if that's your bag, definitely come check it out. If you're on the fence still, just watch a concert. Just check the free preview of my show. I have like three songs and an MC that are totally free to watch on my channel. You can decide if you like it or not. If you do, I've got tickets in the description. You can watch the archive, at least for a little bit. It might disappear at some point. That's why you buy the Blu-ray later. If you have
Yes, physical media.
Yes, that's right.
Physical media.
Yep. So that's about it from me.
Yeah, thank you again. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank
Friend
Also,
of the show
so much.
forever.
next time you're in Dallas,
Yes.
Texas, come hang out in the
Absolutely.
studio. We'll get some barbecue.
Get some barbecue,
Yeah.
go see a rodeo, you know.
Ride
Be
our
perfect.
horses around.
Ride horses around town. It's going to be awesome.
Thanks for joining us, Callie.
No problem. Thank you so much for inviting me. See you guys later.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, who's not here right now,
In spirit.
and Leah President. We are executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Joanna Clay, and Los Angeles Nick. There's a new character I'm working on.
LA Nick. He's going to start wearing different hats and stuff.
Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero, and our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. Pixelworks edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Carla Solorzano, Tamika Balance-Kalazny, and of course, Callie for joining us today.
We will be back next week with even more anime, of course, so stick around. There's nothing that you can do
I was
about
going
it.
to say, there's nothing you can do.
I stole the thunder.
There's
I never get to say
nothing
it, so I
that
was
you
like,
can
I'm going to
do
take my
about it.
chance. These are LA rules.
Bye.
Bye.